That's a good segue, to me pitching to Chase Utley. What happened that year?
They won the World Series.
They won the World Series.
Yeah. That's all because of you.
Did they? They didn't win it before I pitched to them.
What up, peeps? I'm Jim. Welcome to the Having a Catch podcast, the show where we have a catch, chat with friends. Today I'm having a catch with my favorite softball commissioner, Dan Cramley. Commish, how the heck are you?
I'm very good, and I'm preparing.
I set us up with a nice long throw to start here.
I don't have much left in the shoulders. Not that I
like to
ever had a
think I
good
do.
arm.
So I like to ask everybody first, Dan. Do you say have a catch or do you say play catch?
Yeah. I say have.
Yeah. Good.
Have a catch. It's been a while though. But I still got the fundamentals down.
Yeah. So I thought about having a catch with the softball with us because you're a softball commissioner, but I've been throwing the baseball around and I just like it too much.
Yeah. I think the softball puts more stress on my shoulder. So,
it sure does. It sure does. You know the last time you had a catch with a baseball?
I would have to be when Mary Kate played Little League. So she was 12, so probably 8 years ago.
Whew.
Oh, no. Just after that, good story.
Okay, here we go.
And I don't know if you were there or not, but Rob Ickham had a little baseball game. And he said, "You want to play baseball tomorrow at Silbury School?" I'm like, all right. He's like, "Oh, and bring Mary Kate too." Okay. Yeah. So she was probably 13, 14, probably 13. So right after she got done playing Little League. And so we show up. It was like this weather. It was like, we're going to show up. Show up. So we show up, and I didn't know it. But it was a father-son / daughter, but kids versus parents.
Oh, okay.
Right?
They buried the lead.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what I was in for. So forget who's pitching, whatever's going on. But it's a great time. Rob's serious, as he always is.
Right.
Was. And so, of course, got to have Mary Kate pitch to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's what she was a very good pitcher. I always found that the girls were always better pitchers than the boys.
Right.
Never saw a girl cry on the mound. Saw a lot of boys. My dad always had 2 girls on the team in Little League, and they were always pitchers. Very calm, in control. They always threw strikes. And so when Mary Kate was a pitcher, I started off, I said, just throw strikes. Don't worry about anything, just throw strikes. Who cares if they hit you? Just throw strikes. So anyway, after when she was 11, I switch it, I say, look, all right, you're good at throwing strikes, you're not walking people. The next thing you do is change speeds.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Just change speeds.
Change
I'm not
up.
talking, there's no curveball, there's no nothing. It's just, your first pitch is as hard as it can throw, and then you throw a little slower.
It's going to throw up the timing.
And then you throw a little harder.
Yeah.
Just continuously changing. As long as you throw a strike, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
So she does that when she's 11. It's first one. I wasn't using 2 hands.
I'm making you work, too. I'm making you bend over.
So when she was 12, which was her last year, I said, all right, now you're gonna go. If you start the batter high and in with a fastball, your next pitch is going to be low and away, soft.
Right.
If you're high and away, hard, next pitch, need to explain to you. And you'll just try that. You'll be successful. Long story short, she pitches to me in this game at Silbury School. She starts me off high and tight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She has
and I went, I looked at her, I was like, you're going to get me out how I taught you to pitch. And I was proud.
Hey.
Like I was like, And when your child listens to you,
Yeah.
but she also only listens to me on things she knows I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And also that she achieves success.
Yes. So
Through that.
she knows that it works.
She knew that it worked.
Yeah.
So it was like, who better to do this to than to you?
Than you, yeah.
And then, of course, yeah, I popped out or something.
But you knew what was coming, though, right?
I knew it was coming.
Know.
But
she's had good stuff.
I was obviously rusty.
Yeah.
So
did you guys win though? That's
I
the most
don't remember
thing.
much.
Yeah.
I just remember everything was harder than it was, more difficult than it used to be.
Right.
So
yeah, because like I don't know if you were playing. Were you running the league slow pitch softball at the time?
Yeah, well, because she's at 8 years ago. Yeah, we've been.
Yeah.
That was it. We were halfway into it.
Yeah.
Because that was 2006. The gym opened. Sometime before the spring of 2007. Guy Dave. Of course, I can't think of his last name.
You started in 07.
You started in 07. Which you were how old?
Oh, I was in. I'd have been 16 probably.
Yeah, because you played here.
I played when I was 18, my senior year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were legal. You were never illegal.
I don't think you had a rule at that point.
We didn't have a rule at that point.
Yeah, I think my parents ran the team.
Yeah.
And they needed somebody to play.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't have baseball going on. I guess baseball's over. But I came and played, and I was like,
that's it.
This is fun. I like this.
Yeah. So that was 2007 was the first year, but it started because there's a guy from the company was called My Yearbook back then. Now it's the Meat Group.
Right.
Well, actually, now it's the Meat Group alumni. Dave, gosh, I can't remember what his name is. Last name. He reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you know of any softball leagues in the area that we can participate in?" And I said, let me look. So I get back to him. I say, look, you can go to Flemington.
Yep.
Or you can go to Doylestown. And he said, it doesn't work for us because we have people who live in Philly. It's an extra. This Doylestown it didn't work.
Right.
So I said, let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
So, as we know, you need a field to play.
Right.
And in this town, trying to find fields to play to get approval to play without getting, kicked off of or whatever it is. And also, there's no lights.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's lights at the soccer football field now.
But Doylestown Softball America, they have lights, multiple fields. I don't know about Flemington.
You got to make sure you can start playing at 6 and be done by the time it's dark, sort of. So I said, let me see about getting the field. So I reached out to Dudley. I don't know if I say his last name.
Yeah.
I mean, bad to say. Dudley Rice. And he basically was like, yeah, good luck.
Oh.
He was like, good luck.
Yeah.
He brushed me off pretty much and was like, yeah, if you can pull this off, good luck.
Yeah.
So forget the exact details, but I got access to, with a lot of pushback from everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you to use their fields. And so I did it. I think there were only like 6 teams that year. I'm going to forget what. My Yearbook, INC, the gym, Horak, there was a community team. I'm going to forget teams.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting 2 other teams, which is bad.
And the first year teams.
6 original teams. And somebody still has the shirt that had all the shirts the first year had all the teams' names on the back.
Okay.
It was it. It was a
logo
with a batter swinging, New York Fitness Softball, all the teams on the back. So ink, My Yearbook, Roger Green and Associates.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
You played with them, right? That was
eventually.
Yeah.
Won a championship. We beat Who Cares.
Nice.
Yeah. So, we started with those 6 teams.
Yep.
But in order to get people to, like Horak, Kevin was into it. Kevin was my next door neighbor. And he had played in the Trentonian tournament for years. He was really into playing competitive softball. So he was really into getting that one team together, like first community team together, getting people to play. And then I kind of had to, hey, you get a for the season, you get a membership at the gym.
Right, just so to kind of
your fee would be included in.
Oh, nice.
So it's it's part of the business.
Yeah.
All you're doing to try to do is get exposure throughout the community.
Right. And there wasn't really many gyms here at the time either,
so
right?
I was actually the first one in New Hope.
Right.
Because there was Body Tech and then Center Club across the river. And then Cornerstone came in like 2 months after I did.
Really?
We knew each other were going in.
I see.
When it was too late.
I see.
Found out.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, we started with 16s because actually, I always give him credit. Can't think of his last name. Dave asked about the league. About just playing softball.
Yeah.
And if he hadn't made that phone call, I don't know if it would have ever happened.
Right.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, right.
I would have had a free summers for 16, 17 years. So he popped it right there.
Yeah. See, I appreciate that. I don't know if I told you this. I feel like I have. But, I appreciate you as a commissioner because I played in the Doylestown leagues a few times, and those leagues get a little chippy. But you bring a real sense of community with this league, right? Like, I know people that I wouldn't have known before, even though this is such a small community.
Yep.
You go into town, you see people are talking about the softball teams, what's your record?
Mm-hmm.
Havana, I think, or the Landing, they have like their record on their schedule on there.
Great. Yeah, so back when Chris owned it, and Elliot and Jace were the bartenders, and the Landing had their team, we would put the standings up at the bar, and I would show up. I had to every Friday after I was done at the gym, and we would update the standings.
Yeah,
and it was great. I mean, it's just like you said about community. Yeah, I mean, it's at peak we probably had 22 teams.
Yeah.
If you do the math, that's 15 players per team.
Right.
That's
pretty much the whole neighborhood.
300, and now Lambertville, it's both sides of the river. Lambertville,
Yep.
That's 300 people getting out here, like you said, meeting people they might not. I wouldn't know. As far as members of the gym go, there's a few. There's a few. Most people are not. 95% plus are not members of the gym.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. It just shows you started with that, but you made it a community thing, not a gym thing.
Well, I always say the other thing. Like, everybody else made it happen.
Yeah.
It's if you build it, they will come.
Right.
If nobody wants to play, then there's no league.
Exactly.
But back to what you're saying, going back to 16s and getting it started, the next year, it was at, I want to say 9 teams. Like, I wish I had kept better records, because I just didn't know what was going to happen. And I would kept better records. My records, I think, started in 2009.
Yeah.
And I want to say we had 9 teams next year, but it was only 9 teams because people were out talking about it at Christmas parties.
Yeah.
And they're like, just call Dan. So, and back then it was a lot of like your team, parents who knew each other.
Yeah.
From their kids playing sports together.
Right.
Like, if you look at your team, look at Burns.
Yep.
They're all friends. I mean, Burns, they've been in forever, and this is their chance to get to see everybody and go out for drinks.
Yeah.
Afterwards, if you look at teams like your team.
Yeah.
It took a while to get it.
It sure did.
It's not easy.
It sure did.
It's not easy.
I remember, when I took over, it was after my freshman year of college. My parents didn't want to run it anymore. And I was like, but I just played one summer. I love this. This is so fun. Especially a recent high school grad. You're not playing baseball anymore. You're like, how do I keep doing this stuff?
Yep.
I want to keep doing that. So I took over. And I thought, like, yeah, let me start getting my friends. Let's get the young bucks.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're going to win right away. Like,
Well,
we took I didn't win till 9 years, 9 years in the league.
And you were 21 at that point, so you all enjoyed going out after.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
You know, you realize it takes a while to win.
It does.
And look, Ballbusters had a team for 10 years.
Yeah. But
they couldn't figure out how not to hit a pop-up.
Exactly. That's what I think I said this to Jacob. I said, a lot of people are there's star baseball players, and they come slow pitch softball, and they think they can just crush the ball all over the place. But then when the pitchers are throwing it high and they're hitting the mat, you start rolling it over to shortstop. You start popping out the outfield.
As you know, back in the day when we were using, anybody could use a metal bat.
Yeah.
I mean, balls were being hit out here.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle of but I can't believe nobody got killed.
Yeah, me either, thinking about it.
And now, with those wooden bats and the unlimited height, which was instituted, 4 or 5 years ago,
yeah.
So that the people who still wanted to play could be more competitive.
Right.
I was like, I just like for the team to win that deserved it and earned it.
Right.
Like you have a year where, Vantage won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, Dan. We talked about this. That's off limits here.
You don't talk about it Thanksgiving. But look, they won. Were they the best team that year?
No.
Hell no.
Our championship, I think that was Savione's year, right? Like they were just Savione bombing all over the place. And then, we were a good team too. We always were good.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get over that hump like Savione, who they finally did. But that was their year, and we played defense.
You played
Nate Wilson.
The play that won you the championship.
Oh, yeah.
Actually happened in like the 4th inning. It's like first and second, 1 out.
Yep.
So it was a shot down third baseline, and he went pick, step, off balance throw, right to first.
Yep.
3 outs, and that just killed him. That was their inning.
That was the heart of their lineup too.
Yeah, it was over. And it was a shot. And it was Nate. Nate just there was no.
He didn't even think.
No.
It was just boom, 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 done.
Baseball is what I'll watch a Twins White Sox game.
Yeah. I watched the Twins and Yankees today just because my fantasy team. That's it.
Exactly. Me too. That's a good segue, to me pitching to Chase Utley.
Yeah, let's tell that story and then we'll save our arms.
Yeah. So the good
get out of here.
The Chase Utley story, which is what I like to brag about.
Oh yeah.
Was
as you should.
Believe it or not, I was his body double for a commercial.
That's what it was? That's how it started?
That's how it started.
Get out of here.
It's a commercial with him and Michael Strahan. I was not the body double for Strahan, but I was the body double for Chase. So he shows up and he looks at me. He's like, "We look nothing alike," and we didn't.
Yeah.
And I introduced myself.
But now you do. You get your silver fox.
Yeah,
both
we
of you.
do. He's just a lot lean. I was a little stocky.
Yeah.
It's just you got to be cool. Everybody wants something from them.
Right.
If you don't want anything from them,
they're cool.
They're cool.
Yeah.
But they're always on their game. Like they're just expecting you to want something.
Yeah, that's what they're used to.
So the first half I sat through Strahan's bit, and then basically all I did was set up the shot. So it'd be like this: if they were doing a throw here, I'd get in the camera and make sure it was set.
Right.
And he would basically come on and they'd do like 2 minutes of a shot, and that was it. So did all the work. I'm sitting in the trailer, had a bunch of food in the trailer.
Yeah.
This is before I pitched to him, which I wasn't set up to pitch to him.
Okay.
It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to plan to happen. But I'm sitting in the RV. It's one of those spreads. It was a real deal.
Yeah,
so I was like, eat whatever I want. I'm in there by myself. I had nothing to do. And all of a sudden, opens the door. And I'm like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Like I said, they're always on guard.
Yeah.
He sits down, and I'm like, there's sandwiches here, there's this and that. And so he's just hanging out. he had the signed baseballs, and then like this woman comes in, and she was just, all over him.
Yeah.
Can you sign for my nephew? Blah blah blah. This and that. And I'm witnessing it.
Yeah.
I was like, look, don't take offense, but I don't want your autograph.
Yeah.
It's like, just don't take it down. I'm not going to ask you, and I don't want it. And so he was like off guard. I mean, I was Jackie. Like I acted around him like I would act around everybody else. And he was just so caught off guard. And I go, but, and this is true. Mary Kate and I were going to the game the next day. We had planned it.
Yeah.
And I go, if you could hit a home run for my daughter tomorrow, that would do it.
Yeah.
And he was just like, once again, he's on guard. Because he has to think, like, you never know. Is this guy crazy?
Yeah.
I'm a little crazy, but he was like, I don't know what's,
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just kidding. But if you could hit a home run tomorrow for her, it's getting late because he was late. So the lighting is bad.
Right.
They don't have a shot.
Yeah.
So they get everything set up. Once again, a real production. No offense.
This ain't real.
You have a pitching machine on the mound. Boom, plug it in, turn it on, nothing.
No.
Doesn't work. Okay? So I'm like looking around, I'm the second most athletic person here. Like, without a doubt. It was a production crew and everything.
Right.
And I'm also dressed exactly like Chase Utley.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around, I'm just waiting, and his assistant to the agent was there, whoever. And I just see him looking, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Can you pitch?" And I go, "I can pitch." So I'm like, "Shit, give me a ball. Like, I got to warm up."
Yeah.
And so I find a ball, I just go to the backstop, and I just throw once, and he's like, he's good.
Yep.
Like, he's good. So then I go on the mound, and they had a catcher. They had somebody catching, but they didn't have a catcher for the scene. They must have had like catchers mid there. Somebody. Yeah. And I warmed up with the catcher. On the field. And so you have a catcher. It's easy. But for the shot, you pull the catcher out.
Oh, so
it was just Utley, and I'm not throwing anything.
Yeah, that's weird. That's tough.
So I don't know who was standing behind me, but they had like a dozen baseballs or 20 baseballs. Yeah. And I would throw one, I would get the next, and throw again. So I would throw, I think, the first pitch is also, I think it was his agent behind me. He goes, "You realize if you hit him, you're going to be on ESPN." I was like, "Thanks, I realize."
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
meanwhile,
that's what you want to hear.
He leads the league and getting hit me. I'm not hurting him.
Right.
So I throw my first pitch, and it's hot away. Right.
Yeah.
And I could just like hear him groan because it was action. It was this is action.
Yeah.
We're filming a commercial.
Let's get it going. Yeah.
Yeah. So next pitch, I bring it in. I watch him,
crush it. Yeah.
And then next pitch, I'm away again, and then boom, down the middle, pull, hits it hard.
Yep.
To right. I watch it, and then the guy behind me's like, "Just fucking pitch." And I'm like, "I get it, because you're rolling. You wanted it was like we had to keep rolling.
Right.
And it was getting dark.
Yeah.
So
you're turning looking like you would.
I wanted to see him hit one off me.
Exactly.
So we did that. I don't know how many. We might have done like another one or two takes on that, and then they've got to switch the shot, and they were switching the cameras, and I went up to him because we were between shots. And I was like, "All right, what was I bringing it at?" He's like, 55. I was like, "Come on." Yeah. I was like, "Come on."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, 55." So they were setting the shot up, and he was like, "All right, here, so you throw me a couple more." So I throw one, and he buzzes my tower, and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like he put it exactly where he wanted.
Right.
And then he buzzed them.
Yeah.
Like they were right out at shortstop, and they were like, "Yo!"
They're just letting them know.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny. I don't know how long I pitched them. I got one picture from it, which is on my screensaver.
Yeah. That's so cool.
But So the night we got it in, and I saved it. Like the fact that I could pitch saved their asses.
Yeah.
Because it's like to do a commercial with Chase Utley and not
Have someone
him hitting.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, he had his game bat, his black game bat.
Yep.
And I'm like, he's gonna give it to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't want anything from him, but he's gonna give it to me.
Yeah.
So it was like, at that point, we had finished up. We shook hands. He was very cool. Hey, appreciate it. That was fun. Good luck. We had talked about his wife had come in at one point, and I was like, can't tell us apart, can you?
Yeah.
They can't. And, he was cool. We just shook hands, and he didn't give me the bat.
Yeah. No.
He put it right in the trunk of his Mercedes.
He probably hit a homer with it the next night for you, though.
What happened that year?
What year was it?
2008.
They won the World Series.
They won the World Series?
Yeah. That was that year? That's all because of you.
Did they? They didn't win it before I pitched to him. I wish I remembered. I should look up the date to see what his stats were after that.
Right. Yeah, you should.
Yeah. But that was, as I said, my highlight of my baseball career happened, 16 years, whatever, or however many years after I played my last
Right.
game. Like,
who can say they got to pitch to Chase Utley?
I got to pitch to him.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the arm's good. I'm a little, I'm warm. You're using me to get to the Chief, though, right?
One day, yeah. You kidding me?
You sure?
You're a stepping stone.
His dad wanted him to be a baseball player, and then obviously things worked out differently.
Sure did.
So, but that's the cool thing too. Having him out here, he's just one of the guys now.
Yeah.
But there's certain people when the first time he showed up, they're like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
it's the Chief."
Berube's here.
Chief. Yeah, it's Chief. So, but it's cool. He's out here, he has fun, and he is just as competitive on that softball field.
Oh yeah, it doesn't go away.
No, trust me. He tells me.
Yeah.
He tells me. I hear a lot.
The next big fish you got to get is Bradley Cooper.
Oh, he's on Savioni's roster.
Yeah. Does he know that?
He's on the roster.
Does he know it?
He may not know it, but he's on the roster. And there's people around town.
That's smart.
Strangers walking up to Avi asking if Bradley Cooper's on his roster, and he just says, "I think so."
I think so.
Asking Consoli. So
that's awesome.
But hey, you never know. Hey, be part of the community.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Move the new up. We'll have you out here.
Yeah. Hey, if you can get on base, if you can catch, we'll take it.
Yep.
So.
All right, Commissioner.
Cool.
I appreciate your time.
That was awesome.
Yep. All right, peeps.